What's happening, party people? Before I get started, I want to give a special shout out to those folks that show their appreciation by sending me a few bucks when I take time out of my day and talk them through things. I have my phone number, it's public. People send me text messages all the time, call me all the time. But I really didn't realize how much of my day replying to messages and answering calls consumes. Uh, the other day, I figured I lost 2 hours just talking to two or three people on the phone. And that pushes my schedule back. But, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help people. If you got something that you need help with, feel free to call, send a message, stuff like that. Calling and texting is the best way to get in touch with me, get those questions answered. Sending me messages through these other social media outlets can get a reply, but usually not as quick. But again, if you need help, call me. And I want to say thanks to Samuel and my friend Eli for, hey, supporting me through donations when they needed my help via telephone call. Now, I talk to people every day. A lot of people don't call because they figure I'm busy or whatnot. But if I answer the phone, I'm not with another customer busy working on their vehicle. Sometime I'm on a walk. I don't mind. I always take calls during that time. Sometime I'm tinkering on my car. Sometime I'm on the road. I could talk for hours if I'm on the road. But at any rate, I appreciate those people. And I get maybe 2 donations a week from people that I've talked to on the phone and helping through issues with these cars. So special shout out to them. In today's video, I shared a clip. I didn't share the whole thing, which I probably should have, but I just want to encourage you folks. Man, get a dash cam. Those things are like $50 online. Get a memory card, another 10, $15, but dash cams can really save you some hassle with dealing with people that are mean, nasty, dishonest. For instance, somebody hit Byron's car, kept driving. Well, I caught a little glimpse of that. I probably share those clips. But if it wasn't for cameras, we'd have never known who did it. If somebody hits your car and you have a dash cam, your dash cam will cut on, takes about 4 or 5 seconds, and record what happens. And then a lot of times you'll get those people in view of the camera or their license plate number and be able to deal with that when they leave. My brother-in-law had a situation where somebody busted a headlight out on his car fighting with another guy. It was a Jaguar, that's expensive. He could see who did it, turn that into the police, whatever. But in this case, 2 tractor trailers was what I call drag racing. Speed limit 75. They're going 62 miles an hour side by side, 10, 15 minutes down the highway. Well, it'd be nice if the person in the slow lane would yield to the person in the fast lane, let them by, but no. This guy in the slow lane wouldn't let him by. 10, 15 minutes. They finally come up on another tractor trailer, so he had to drop back a little bit. I was right behind the truck that he was drag racing with, and as I was going by him, he turned on his turn signal and started swerving back and forth into my lane like he was coming over. Look, buddy, all because you got your turn signal on, don't give you the right of way. So I held my ground a little bit, and this tractor trailer came all the way over into my lane, pushed me into the shoulder. I had to brake and get behind him. So the camera caught his information. I called his dispatch. Dispatch put us on 3-way for what, I don't know. I'm trying to let these people know that they have an aggressive maniac on the road driving down the highway with 60,000 pounds of weight with him. He's going to hurt somebody. These people are rude, crazy. Always try to avoid road rage, but it's good to catch this on camera. After I talked to the dispatch, I talked to the state police, told them to come get this guy, man. I got the stuff on camera. I can share it with you if you want. Pull over, share that information with you. But, he's going to hurt somebody. He has no business driving that aggressive with all that weight and danger. At any rate, I'm going to try to finish up some stuff around here in Las Vegas today. And probably in the morning, head on into Albuquerque, then Roswell, then kind of go through Phoenix and Southern Cal. Appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you could click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. This is one of the reasons why it's important to have a dash cam in your car. 843574. I was following two of these tractor trailers driving side by side for about 10 minutes. And when another tractor trailer came up, I of course was following the one in the fast lane. And as we began to pass the other tractor trailer, this one that's in front of me now, put in its turn signal and just ran me off the road. So of course I got the footage. That's the only thing that could save me. But you got to be careful when dealing with these tractor trailer drivers. They're extremely dangerous, and if you don't have a dash cam, it's your word against theirs. This individual I ended up calling their dispatch about, and I also called the state police, because all because you turn on your turn signal doesn't mean you have the right of way. So get you a dash cam and don't engage with road rage with these crazy people, because it could become very dangerous and somebody's going to get hurt dealing with this jerk. Here we are, folks. We are kicking off the Tinker Day. A 97 850 T5. It's got those wheels on it that comes on the Platinum. We're going to do a timing belt kit, water pump and all. So let's get started. Jack it up, get this tire off, and get to cracking. We got evidence of some leakage down here. We got a little bit on the corner here. And I look down here, there's coolant under the crank, coolant under that part, coolant down here. Any coolant forward of this mount is coming from the thermostat area. So there's coolant there, some coolant down there. Oil cooler lines are starting to leak. Not a real big deal, but it has an aftermarket water pump on it, so you guys know I'm gonna have to deal with that black gasket. So let's go ahead and take this loose so we can jack the engine up a little bit, get that tensioner and that water pump out of there. Got a lot of coolant there behind that pulley. It may be coming out of this hose because it's on top of that bolt right there too. Could be the thermostat gasket, but more than likely it's this hose. We're going to try to tighten that up a little bit, maybe put a different clamp on there. Some of this oil residue we think is coming off the oil cap. It's got this whole top of this head full of oil. So we're going to use this and pad from oil eater and mop this oil up in here and get a new oil cap gasket. Yep, that's what we're going to do. And there it is, folks. That gasket straight from the pit of Hades. Pump just starting to get a little loose, but it lasted 70,000 or whatever miles. That used to be my second favorite. But of late, I've heard of them failing in 5,000 miles. Well, I am glad to say that I think whoever put this on put some gasket maker on before they put the gasket on. And that spared me. It wasn't stuck as it usually is to the block. And I got it all cleaned off. Didn't take near as long as it usually does. Look like I got a little piece there maybe. I'm gonna run my finger around it and get that water pump on. Got a little gift here from my buddy John. Inch-pound brand new torque wrench. Thank you, John. We're going to put that to use, torquing down these water pump bolts. We have the water pump torqued in. Man, that is a precision instrument. Anytime you use a torque wrench, you always want to run it down to its lowest setting after you get done with your torque. It de-stresses the tool and helps the calibration last longer. So we're getting ready to double check the timing mark on here. And it is right on the mark. See that little notch there? It's hard to see, but it's there. And we're going to put the belt on, the tensioner on, the idler on. Run the belt, check the timing, put the hydraulic tensioner in, pull the pin, roll it around. Let's get with it. Got all this oil sucked up here. Getting ready to pull the hand grenade pin. The timing is on, which means the cams did not move. Gonna pull that hand grenade pin, roll this thing around, make sure our timing marks come back up. Got a couple things going on here. One, harmonic balancer up there is cracking. Can't see it from here. Two, oil cooler lines are starting to leak. Let me get a light on here. So now you can probably see the chunks missing out of that harmonic balancer. And the oil cooler lines over here, that one's really not wet there, but the bracket is wet down here. So this end is where they're starting to leak out of. One of them's leaking, the other one's good. So we're gonna go ahead and block them off so we ain't gotta worry about it. And we found a heater core leaking, so we're gonna get a heater core and put that in before we button the rest of the stuff up. So these screws came right out. Let me show you what I did. Got the 6-inch. I put this one on here and I used the edge of the oil cooler thermostat for leverage. And when I went up here, I used the oil cooler thermostat as a leverage again. Pop both of those out. We're gonna pull that back away from the car and slip the oil cooler thermostat block off plate in there. That's it. Even though I didn't seem to do a lot, I actually started 5, 6 in the morning, drove from Cincinnati into the Chicago area, worked on the vehicle, and that timing belt I did was actually in Wisconsin. I don't remember the name of the town, but it's about an hour into Wisconsin and then back into Chicago to start stuff for the next day. So it was a long day, even though it wasn't a lot of footage. But hey, I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching. Have a great day.